Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is a Škoda T50. It's a Tier 9 Czechoslovakian medium tank. It's located on the northeast spawn of Karelia and it's under the command of Mizeanator. And you may know that name because a little while back we did a Radley Waters game in a Barask and it was Mizeanator's first. Let's see how he gets on in this Škoda T50. As I said, it's the Tier 9 Czech. The next one up's the T50-51. This one's got a 100mm gun. It's capable of 320 alpha, and it will penetrate through 248mm with standard APCR. And with the premium rounds, it will actually go through 310mm. It actually does have fairly good shell velocity with the APCR, 1400, so it's point and shoot at enemy targets, but it's got fairly slow speed with the heat rounds. They're only 900 kilometers an hour, so you're lobbing those at the enemy rather than actually shooting directly. He's picked a position near the cab period to start with. It's a bit of a sniper tank in some ways, but it does have... Oh, he's got his first hit on the Link 6x6, but he did get spotted. So good job that he's got a rock he can hide behind. There are two Arty on the enemy team. They've got a GW Tiger P and an M53, M55. And he has to take that into account just in case he gets spotted. But he's back to his bush again. Now it has got a fairly good top speed, 50 kilometers an hour, and a decent acceleration. But it's a bit of a large medium tank, so it sticks out like a sore thumb. Okay, spotted an M41D, it's a Chinese one. One round's enough for him. It's a 3-shot autoloader, by the way. Standard reload is 21.09 seconds. He's got 19.26, so he's dropped the reload time by 2 seconds. But it's still actually quite a long reload for a autoloader, but it's actually much faster than the T27, the premium medium that you find at Tier 8. If I remember correctly, that's got a reload time of something like 27 seconds, which is far longer. Okay, this was a development of a general purpose tank that the Czechs were developing in 1947. They made changes to it in 1948, but the project got discontinued after they made one prototype, which was also a wooden mock-up. T54 first prototype, and oh, that leaks again, and oh, we got the kill this time. So he's got 2 kills now, pumps one into the T54, but he couldn't get the kill in time because he couldn't fire fast enough to get it. That's unfortunate. It's 1.8 seconds intra-clip reload, which is actually quite fast, but somebody was faster on the draw than he was and managed to get the shot in before he could to get his 3rd kill. So Mizeanator's doing well so far. I must admit, I was a bit surprised to see this replay come in so quickly after the one with the Barask, because if you remember in that game, it was only a few days ago, but Mizeanator might have actually got a Pools medal, or even more, because he did at one point have 2 tanks dead to rights. He got the tracks and the Strip K, hit him, but it couldn't get the pen on that one, and his 3rd shell doesn't hit the E50. Yes, he could have ended up with as many as 12 kills in that game. He could have, because he did have 2 tanks dead to rights and he let them get killed by his teammates. He wanted to spot for his team, and he knew that if he fired from his current position or his spotting position, then he wouldn't be able to spot because he'd have to retreat, pull back, and then make his way forward again. He was very close to getting a Pools medal in that game. He did get 9 kills in the end, but unfortunately the enemy tank that he was about to take out, his 10th kill would have been his 10th kill, but unfortunately he got the drop on Mizeanator before he could get his shot out, and he was out the game. But it didn't take long for his teammates to finish off. It was quite a good carry, that was. Okay, well, they're not doing so well in this game because they're 3 down on the enemy at the moment. That's not so good. Still 12 enemy tanks out there. It's that T103 in the Borsig stopping the guys coming forward. Oh, this looks good. Yep, pumps one easily through the E50. And the kill shot goes to the Arty on our team. The GW Tiger P finishing him off. So he picked up the assist there. Okay, Striv K is just a short distance away, but he can also see there's another one. There's a Kampfpanzer 07RH nearby. He's having a quick look. Doesn't want to get ambushed by that guy. Our E50's amongst the rocks. We've got a VK who's holding the line against the south route. There's 3 enemy tanks around that side of the map. We've still got a Char Future 4 who's looking out from above, and I think that wreck of the E50 is actually being pushed out by the Striv K. It looks like he's being pushed. He wants a bit of extra armor, so he's shoving the tank out and then trying to get on the other side of it so he can then use that for a bit of cover. It's a good tactic to do. You can arrange a wreck in such a way as you can shoot over the engine deck, then it's very difficult for the enemy to return fire. Now this tank has 8 degrees of gun depression. As I said, it's got good acceleration, but it's got excellent view range, 400 meters view range. And you can see the Striv trying to line that tank up, the E50 up. Mizeanator's positioned himself so he can get shots on either the Horseshoe or on the Striv K, but he's also positioned in such a way so he can make a fast getaway if he needs to. Yeah, I think he can hit that guy now. He actually just got tracked. Now, can he get a shot in? Yes, he can. Yes! Nice! And he gets the kill! Pull back to reload. In fact, he doesn't want to reload, but he hasn't reloaded. I think he wants to use that last shell. And there's the Kampfpanzer. Yes! And he does get a hit, and it's an average roll, 320. Okay, he's in full reload now, but it's not long to wait. And look at that! The kill shot goes to the M53, M55. The Kampfpanzer 07's out the game. And Mizeanator now has 3 kills, and there's a Smur SM coming in. He's trying to try and use the bush mechanic on the guy, as long as they can keep him spotted. Ooh, see shells whizzing past him. You can see the enemy is coming up by the south route now as well. He's just checking to see, has he got a line of sight? He might be able to get a shot on the SMV, but I think he's decided he's going to reposition. Yes, he's got a shot. And he can use that tree for cover. Yes, first shot's in. Go for the kill. Yes! That's his 4th. Well on the way now to getting a Top Gun. And he saved the VK. The VK's still on that corner.
Moving to support you.
In fact, I think he's supporting, and yep, confirmation there from Mizeanator. Okay, Samura, thin armor. He's actually using the bush mechanic himself. He's got a bush in front of him. And the Arty are helping a great deal because they are actually suppressing him at the moment, keeping him stunned. The scores are now evened, and that's one thing in their favour. The Smurs come up again. Now, and one of the unfortunate things about this tank, it doesn't have a very good burst damage. It's only 960 hit points if you get an average roll on all 3 shots. Slightly less than the, or quite a bit less actually, than the T50-51. Oh! Unfortunately, our Borsig just bit the dust. That was an Arty shot. Their M53, M55 got the kill. So he was a bit exposed there, and the Samur was doing the spotting. Okay, now we can do him. Nicely done! One shot! I think he waited until that guy was actually a one shot to kill easily. He actually only got 93 hit points, but he got the spotting for the rest of it. The hit that went in. Okay, so the scores are now 9-9, so they're still even, and Arty's firing. I'm not sure that was aimed at him though. Okay, we've got the Chart Future and the VK. Oh, it's an Object 704 coming in. Just the Chart Future on this corner, or is it the VK? The VK's there as well. Okay, it looks like the Scorpion G is coming down. He's got 3 shots ready. He could take that Scorpion out with one clip if he can get all 3 shells on target. So he's waiting behind the trees, hoping that the guy comes into sight. Arty's noticing as well. I don't think the enemy's going to come around that corner yet, but I think he's going to try and cover the corner. He's been spotted. Somebody saw him. And he's still 100% health, so he can afford to take a shot, but he doesn't want it to be that big if it does hit him. Okay, are there anyone around this side? No, so whoever saw him was on the other side of the rock. He was where the Chart Future 4 is now. I always found one. It's the AMX65, and he does take a hit. Tried to go for the return of fire and does get the kill. 3rd shot, lucky. So now he's got his top gun. Now, if he can get all 3 shells loaded, he can come up behind that Scorpion G and give them what for. They're now 2 up on the enemy. I think the VK is headed straight to the enemy cap. Yep, he's not going to go up here onto the horseshoe. Now, can we come up behind the Scorpion G and then shoot him in the rear? As soon as the Chart Future 4 sees where he is, he'll probably fire one in. That was the Chart Future 4 dying, so I think the Scorpion must have been spotting him to enable the Arty to get the shot. Now, where are you? We can still take a hit from the Scorp and survive. I'm certain it was him that was spotting us. He's not tried to take a shot at us yet, so I don't think he can see us, and 6th Sense hasn't gone off. Decided to go down to the corner. No proximity spot, so he's not there. I think we can go down. BK's making his way towards the enemy cap. Oh, he's under fire. The VK is under fire. His help just went off. Normally that means somebody is shooting at him. Oh, he got spotted. Somebody saw him come down. And I think that's probably the Scorpion. Yes, it was the Scorpion. You can see him now. And unfortunately, he's just taken a hit from the enemy Arty, but 2 shots should be enough. Yes! He's got him, and that's 7 kills. So there's only 3 enemy left. One of them is the Borsig. He's got 2 Arty as well, an M53, M55 and a GW Tiger P, and I think he wants one of those because this would be his 2nd Radley Waters in only a matter of days. You know what they say, once you get the habit, it just keeps going from there on in. We know where the Borsig was last sighted, and we're heading towards that position. I think we're unspotted to the enemy Arty at the moment. There's one of the enemy Arty. So we know where he is. Might as well go for him. That's the last minute. It's definitely going to be a kill all no cap here because haven't got enough time to cap out. So we need to kill all the enemy tanks. We know where the GW Tiger P was last spotted, just around the corner of that rock. 1 kill is all he needs. And he's got his Bradley Waters. There's the GW. Oh, he's gone. We need to move now. And there's the Borsig. Kill the bossy. Yes, that's a Radley's, and that wins the game with 14 seconds left on the clock. He's done it. Well, would you expect that? It's incredible. Within a matter of days, Mizeanator has actually made his second Radley Walters game and his first class in this Škoda T50. He managed to get a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, in fact he got 6. He got a Radley Walters medal for killing 8 enemy vehicles in the game, as well as the Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills, and the tank sniper as well for taking out the most enemy, or doing the most damage in a battle of at least 300 meters. And look at that win rate, 4,115. That's a very good score. Super Unicum and a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he did get the highest damage in the game, but he didn't get the high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. 3,481 hit points was the damage from Mizeanator. The second highest damage went to the T103 on his team with 2,824, and he picked up a Pascucci's medal because he killed both enemy SPGs. And the third highest damage went to that enemy Scorpion, 2,491. Seems he was very good at spotting and very sneaky as well because he was coming up through the bushes using the rocks for cover. So let's have a look at the kills. Well, obviously Mizeanator gets that one with 8 kills in the game. The next highest player only got 1/4 of the amount that he did, and that was the T103. And on the enemy team, their E50, their M53, M55 and their Borsig all got 2 kills apiece. And when it came to base XP, yeah, he's got that one too. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,227. The next highest being the T103 got 1,168. And those are the only 2 players in the game to get over 1,000 base. 814 went to the VK7501K. And he did a great job holding that corner and stopping the enemy coming up by the southwest route. Mizeanator fired 21 rounds. He got 18 direct hits on the enemy and 15 penetrations. Did have a few problems with pen on some of the tanks that he was shooting at long range. 3,481 hit points of damage, of which 2,748 were at more than 300 meters. So most of the damage he did was a long range shot. 2 hits received, both penned. I'm afraid the armor on this tank is not particularly good. The best armor is on the front of the turret. It's only 120 millimeters, so most rounds are just going to go straight through. He also received 1 hit by way of splash damage as well from the enemy Arty. 11 enemy vehicles were damaged, 8 were killed, 977 hit points of damage assistance. He earned 51,386 credits on a premium account, got 50,000 for mission completion, 101,386 credits altogether. And after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, he took away 46,260 credits profit. 1,840 XP times 5 for the first victory of the day, took away 9,202 experience points altogether. I don't think he expected to get a Radley Walters so quickly after the last one. After all, that was his first Radleys in the Barask. But to get it in a completely different tank, well, it is an autoloader, but it's not the best autoloader, the Škoda. That's pretty impressive. So now he's scored 1, and now he's scored his second Radleys. I don't think it'll be long before he gets a Paul's medal or something else, because he seems to be doing exceptionally well, and he's picking these enemies off very, very nicely indeed. If you enjoyed, before we end the video, let's have a quick look at the armor for this thing, because it's useful to actually know what you're playing. You can see the armor on the turret's actually quite strong, 120 millimeters impacted armor. With the rounding on the turret, it actually comes out slightly higher. Not much, only 134. It's basically a lightened tank to actually make it go faster. Even look at the lower plate there, it's only 65 millimeters, but with the angling it comes out 92. It's got 2 sets of armor on the upper plate. You can see these pieces here where it's 80 millimeters impacted armor coming out at 136, but over here it's only 65 millimeters coming out at 117, and the driver is right in the center there. So I'm not sure why they put these 2 patches on, these 2 plates on, but they do make it more difficult to actually get the pen. I suppose if you're angling at all, then that does protect the driver to a certain extent. There is a cupola you can aim for here, 50mm, so it is fairly weak, it's the viewport for the gunner, I believe. And the top of the turret is not particularly thick. It's only 30mm, but it's with the angle, it comes out at 80. You wouldn't want to aim for the man there because it is quite strong, so that's a no-no. The sides of the tank are fairly thin, 40mm, but it does have spaced armor, as you can see here, and it's angled as well, which means that you're more likely to bounce the shell, or at least ricochet the shell, so it's not going to do through the sides. And in fact, there's only very, very slim or slight slits that you can actually aim the shell through on the tracks. So 40mm, yeah, but very difficult to get through. Rear of the turret is actually easier, 50mm, coming out slightly angled. Yes, it's better towards the rear, but you can see it's graded as it gets towards the front to actually give you protection. The top of the tank is penetrable by Arty because you've got impacted armor of only 30mm, which is when it comes in about 30-33. Engine deck is 20mm, coming out at about 23. So you can pen this Arty with an Arty round. The rear of the tank is, well, not much thicker actually. It's 40mm, coming out at about 45. If you have a look at the live model, yeah, everywhere can be penned really, basically. Even if you angle the tank, it's not going to give you very much more in the way of protection. So not so great from that perspective. We look at the collision model again and angle it. You can see, yes, you're only getting about 80mm going up to 140 with the angling there. So that's not giving you much. Let's have a look at the modules. Okay, we've got the driver up front in the center. We've got the gunner on the left-hand side. That's where he's using the sighting mechanism. We've got the tank commander behind him in a very compact cockpit, or turret rather, and we've got the loader on the right hand side. He's also got the radio set for some reason, and the bustle contains the autoloader mechanism and everything for the clip, and he's frantically loading the shells in, and that's why it's actually quite a fast reload if you think about it for a 3-shell clip, compared to the T27, that is. At the back we've got the fuel tanks in the angled bit. You can see at the back, it's actually angled at the top with the engine in the center and the transmission behind. And there is a deep storage ammo rack, but I don't think you're going to be able to hit it from most angles simply because the tracks obscure it and therefore makes it very, very difficult target to hit. You better aim for the to get the bustle, or you can if you aim a little bit lower, but then that's an angled piece there. So if you do aim for these wings, as you might call them, the shell might bounce off and go straight into the tracks and won't give you anything. So you're much better off aiming for the bustle on this one. So I hope you enjoyed that replay. It's very surprising that Mizeanator sent in another Radley so quickly after the last one. Let's hope you can send us in another one very shortly, or maybe even a Paul's medal too. I wouldn't be surprised. If you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.